Thank you for joining the Sanfo webinar. Today, we just talk about one topic. It's data-driven security operations with AI-powered automated response. So you see this topic, there are some keywords like you will know how we do the security operation. Security operation is like you purchase a SOC, you just build a SOC for customer, or just purchase SIEM to build a SIEM for customer. But the difference is that the first keywords is data-driven. We not only talk about how to fine-tune the security rule, we talk about how to get the high-quality data, risk-relevant data. So the first keywords is data-driven. The second thing is AI-powered. Every people talk about AI now, and all the vendor around the world, they are talking about AI. And AI is the second topic we will talk about. And the third one is automation. And with automation and AI and the data, so how we fine-tune the secure operation now. So that is our topic today. I wish you can get a lot of insight and knowledge today after joining the webinar. So I'm Aaron from Sanfo. So I'm the security operation director for just doing the business for Middle East. Okay, so we have multiple chapters. Let's just look at briefly. The first one is the security operation challenges. I will, based on my experience, to talk with you about what is the challenges that the customer is facing and the industry encountered. The second thing is the introduction about our Sanfo Athena solution. And the third part, I will talk about what is our unique advantage based on the value proposition. And the fourth part is benefits of Sanfo Athena XDR. And the fifth part is about our battle comparison with other vendors in the industry. And the final is the customer references. And I will tell you the live user case that they are using Sanfo product and using Sanfo SOC and the SIEM platform and using our XDR platform, how they can get benefit. Okay, so the topic is around secure operation. So definitely we will provide you a comprehensive technical platform. That is our today highlight. But before we talk about some product and technology, we talk about what is the requirement, what is the pain point from the secure operation. Okay, you can see there's a lot of big event happens, and in recent years, there's a lot of things like the nationwide, the outage paralyzed the US healthcare financial system, delaying the prescription and also payments for weeks. And there's Singapore, there's USA, and there's Japan. Actually, all the developing country, and around the world, they are suffer some cyber attack. Even the Middle East suffered the Iran and Israel war, right? So we can see there's a lot of data. The attackers, the frequency is going on, which means the major global cyber attacks happens in recent years frequently. Okay. And I talk with you about the trend, every people using AI, but also the attackers are also using AI. So even low entry level, the low level attackers can also leverage the large language model to batch the generated advanced attack tools, which means they can easily, with low cost and with a comprehensive attacking tools to get a vulnerability and scan the port, scan the lot of context from the customer environment. So they are doing it a very flexible and more easy way. And but security vendor, they also using AI to stitch the fragmented traditional security tools. And the AI is heavily rely on the human fine-tuned AI model. And sometimes even the vendor cannot keep up with the evolving threats due to the limited intelligence and automation capabilities. And the customer also suffer a lot of fragmented management about the security silos and heavily reliance on their security analyst, and cannot keep up with the evolving threats. Although AI is a good thing, but it seems customer cannot fully use AI and don't have AI tool to against the AI weaponization. Okay, so let's further talk about why SecOps team struggle with the security solution. The first thing is that most of the customer, they purchase the solution is point solution, which means they purchase firewall, they purchase EDR, they purchase the email security, but they don't have a unified platform to give you the visibility and to tell you what happens. And the second thing is alert overload. Thousands of daily alerts every day, and the customer only have two IT mixed role to manage a lot of IT things. And security seems like a part-time job, and not to mention they need to analyze a lot of alerts every day. The third one is the lack of context, which means when real attack happens, do they have the capability to find the root cause and do the investigation and just harden their system? Actually, the answer is no. And the final thing is that people is always less. Experienced people is always less. And even you have a skilled person, you cannot let them run 24/7. That is current security issue. And how Sanfo XDR doing this? I think I'm not talking about the concept, but you can see some of the Gartner mention what is the scientific way to deal with the security. Gartner said you need to embrace the XDR and focus on the detection and response, a unified security incident detection and response platform that can automatically collect and correlates data from multiple proprietary security components like firewall, like EDR, like email, and like cloud workload, different solutions. And Forrester also mentioned a system that delivers detection and response capabilities across multiple security layers, like a network layer, endpoint layer, server layer, identity layer, cloud layer, and email layers to leverage all aspects and give the thorough analytics. Okay, and I can tell you the answer. Actually, customer when they talk about the how to intelligently build a security operation platform, XDR will be the answer. But in the market, different vendor have different interpretation about the XDR. So, like you said, SentinelOne, Kaspersky, they said EDR plus some log retention is the XDR. And Palo Alto and Trend Micro, Stellar Cyber, they said XDR is a platform driven, which means you need to, based on your SIEM, to upgrade some of the features, collect the telemetry from the different components. Platform driven XDR will be the answer. Sanfo, based on the two idea and the two different view, we say XDR actually is unified security operation platform and fulfill the unified SOC daily jobs. So Athena XDR actually should be include a lot of necessary things and serve for the customer in daily operation, which means Sanfo XDR combine the XDR features and also SOAR and also lightweight SIEM and also ticketing system and also the security GPT. So we combine all the necessary features and to build a platform. It's called Sanfo Athena XDR. And our goal is trying to provide a one-stop solution to cover all the security operation jobs in daily operation. Okay. And I will talk some process, how our XDR works, and you will know how we can reduce the risk with our XDR. Okay, the first one is about data. And Sanfo, we have ecosystem. We have EDR, we have the NDR, and also firewall, and also anti-phishing solution. And we can also combine with third-party security tools like Sophos, like CrowdStrike, like SentinelOne. And all the data can synchronize to our data lake. So the first thing, we make sure we collect the clean data, collect telemetry data from various sources. The second thing, we do the threat detection. So we will do a lot of parsing and just parsing the data structure and analyze and the correlation and also do the alert prioritization according to the scenario. And we do the threat detection. Parse and correlate the data to detect the threats. Okay, and third part is about incident response. After the threat detection, we find there's an instance. And what we do? We will do the assessment and the triage, and also give the forensics and investigation, which means we give you a threat map to let you know what happens, and we give you the timeline to analyze, and from the yesterday, today, and give you some predictions and also recommendations, and also automated response, which means using the playbook and we connect to our native components and third-party components, we can realize automated response. And everything about the data analysis and the detection and also response, we also fully use AI, and everything can be scientifically analyzed and integrated. And we can use AI to explain using natural language to let the customer know what happens. Even the admin is a layman about security. Without some knowledge, they can also understand what happens with the context generated by the AI. Okay. And the final thing is that we also have some management feature in your daily operation, server daily operation, like weakness management, patch management, case management, and a ticketing system. And we also have a comprehensive reporting to you can just generate it according to what you want to see and just filter the different view. And you can generate a report and you can give a report to the CISO or the CIO, the C executives can get the information, detailed information from the report. Okay, and XDR actually, this is a more detailed architecture. So from the network and the different components, and we collect telemetry data and do the response execution and push execution to the components. Okay. So this is more technical thing. I will not highlight more, but some customers say how you collect the data using what kind of technology. We're using syslog. We focus on the RESTful API, Kafka, JDBC, ODBC. So we have different interface. We can just collect the data from different components and using our data collection storage and go through a lot of data processing and go through the detection engine. And finally, we can showcase on our dashboard, give you richful context what happens. Okay, here is our diagram. And you can see the full story. Okay, you see there's an internet and there's a firewall and there's routers and our firewall is deployed in line behind the routers and there's a call switch and there's an employee just click the malicious link of the email and the ransomware just comes into their laptop and the ransomware from the office the network to the data center network and they do the lateral movement. So how Sangful deal with the APT attack, persistent attack? So the first thing, from the north to south, we can using our firewall to block the malicious traffic. And also, we also will deploy an NDR. So NDR, the sensor will connect to core switch, mirror the traffic to mirror the core switch traffic to the network sensor is our NDR solution. So NDR and the firewall and the EDR, any laptop will install the EDR. So EDR, NDR, and also firewall will synchronize the telemetry data to XDR. So XDR will analyze everything from the outside attacks to the lateral movement and to the privilege escalation and to a series of sequential actions will showcase on our XDR. If customer don't have people, the beautiful thing is that Sangful can also provide MDR, which means there's a bunch of expert can analyze the instance on XDR for you, and they can also do the IR service, instant response, timely, and 24/7 monitoring. That is our MDR. So using this architecture, firewall, NDR, EDR, XDR, and MDR, customer can get a full protection, and it's a full managed SecOps they can get. Okay, so our the platform actually can very flexible to deploy to the customer site, and the first one is on premises, which means XDR can just deploy on the customer local data center. And if customers say, I don't want to provide a server, can you provide a SaaS version? Yes, definitely. We also have a local data center in Dubai and provide a SaaS XDR. So there are two options. It's very flexible. Okay. Until now, so far so good. If you have any question, please raise your question. Okay. If no other question, I will just continue my topic. Okay. I will talk more about some details of the XDR, and it's also our advantage and our framework and architecture, how we deal with the security issues. The first one is about the data ingestion. Currently we support the global well-known brand endpoint security tool 4054 and a network security tool like WAF, IPS, IDS, firewall 109 and others brands is 29. You don't need to consider number because we can support all the brands around the world if they are security product because our R&D will parsing the security devices uh, just to give us a 72 hours, we can parsing all the different kinds of the products, security product. Okay, because we are using AI parsing, and we can our R&D can fast support to parse the data structure from different unknown brands. Okay, so I talk a lot about the data, but please remember, Sunful is a comprehensive security vendor. We not only provide XDR, it's a platform. We also provide a lot of well-known components like EDR to protect the endpoint, and also firewall to protect the network, and also the NDR to protect the traffic, make sure the traffic is clean. And also we provide the AI engine, which correlates a lot of AI capabilities to reduce the false positive and help customer to block the phishing email and also help customer to detect some unknown threats. We are also open architecture to connect all the third parties. Okay. And how we deal with the logs? The native device data, we will come to our logarithms, log streaming, and there's a data lake. And third-party data from the raw log, we will do the parsing and normalize the logs and give it different prioritization. And native device data and third-party device data combined together, and we can put all things to log storage and to archive or for the customer to search on the dashboard. That is the technology that we are using. Okay. And why we can support brands around the world of third party? Because we have multiple layer to deal with this issue, like rule-based parsing. And we also have AI model to parse the different brands, AI parsing. And meanwhile, if there's an unknown brands and the data structure is not clear, we also transmit the data to the data meta. We also try to extract the metadata and fine-tune the data structure using the Operation GPT. Operation GPT is a SaaS-based AI engine, and they will help us to analyze the brands and also the data structure, even there's unknown brands. So using the three layer, and finally, our XDR can support fast support all of the third party, and we just do the connection to our XDR, so we can analyze any brands. Okay, and this part is about third-party log processing. Uh, so just like last slides, we will use people to fine-tune the parsing rule. So that is the unique advantage that we can provide. Okay, after we talk about data injection, now we talk about correlation. So we highly focus on the two aspects. The first one is endpoint. The second one is network. So we provide the Athena EPP. It's an endpoint protection platform and under one unified agent to cover Macs, Linux, and Windows. And we also support third-party endpoint like CrowdStrike, SentinelOne. And for network, we have firewall, NDR, and we can also support third-party network security tools. We focus on the two dimension because most of attack will from the network channel and to steal the data from endpoint perspective. So the two, if you can manage it efficiently, 90% of the risk will be mitigated, right? And we also will correlate. Why we correlate the different aspects, not just a single product, because we think single product like if you just endpoint-centric analysis and network-centric analysis or email-centric analysis, actually, they are all cannot give you full visibility. So I can tell you, I can give you a story. If there's a user that are trying to connect to a server, and I think it's a normal attempt to log in, right? So it's a weak indicator, but they will try log in your computer day by day by day, and finally they crack your laptop and just connect, uh, just build a connection with the outside mainframe. So I think everything is a weak indicator. But within a broader time horizon, you will think, oh, there's a strong signal, strong indicator, strong signal. So we will analyze the data from the time frame, a long time frame, and also different aspects to combine together to let you know. Even there's a weak indicator, but weak accumulate a weak indicator, it will be a strong indicator. Oh, there's a ransomware. Okay. And we also want to mention something about the detection. So detection, we have three layers to do the detection. So the first one is we collect the raw data, and we will standardize to logs. So there's a logs pool, and in different queue we can analyze the logs, and we do the logs aggregation combined with our UEBA engine and also IOA, and there's a lot of AI-enabled engine. And what we do, we're just trying to reduce the noise from the millions of logs into thousands of alerts. So because alerts will be more detailed and more time story. So every alerts represent a sequential of the actions, not like logs. It's a single indicator. Okay. And then we will use alerts and we further correlate the alerts and we combine the context and finally we give the customer single instance. So one instance combined with a lot of alerts, combined with a lot of logs. But for customer, they just need to analyze the security instance. Instance is the final thing that you need to resolve. You click the instance, you will see the timeline, you will see the root cause analysis, you will see the whole holistic threat map. Okay, that is something that we are doing. So why we have multiple layer of detection? Because we want to try to reduce the noise. Logs, alerts is noise. It's not the final evidence, but the instance is the final thing that you need to focus on. And using limited resources to deal with the instance one by one to fine-tune your security technology. Okay. And then we can talk about there's a more detailed live case, like we are find some audit logs and using rules and models, and we form the security logs. From the engine and the correlation, logs will generated to combine to alerts. And from alerts, we do the grouping and the correlation, and the customer just need to deal with the security instance. There's a funnel. The customer only need to focus on the security instance. Okay. And the detection, we not only talk about technology, we also talk about the broader aspect. Because our detection capability cover the threat life cycle from the pre-attack to during attack to the post-attack. So pre-attack, we will just trying to do three things. We will let customer know on our dashboard how many laptop, how many server they have. The second thing is how many vulnerabilities on the operating system. This is operating system level, the vulnerability. So we will tell the customer how many vulnerabilities they have, and also the big passwords. And the final thing, we will tell the customer what is the configuration. It's misconfiguration and in the different components that we will tell the customer, because we have baseline check and to check the passwords, to check the configurations. Okay, that is pre-attack. During attack, we will let customer to custom the detection rules But using our built-in signature, built-in threat intelligence, and also IOA, IOC, and with AI engine, actually is already very enough to deal with the threats. After attack, for example, the customer maybe suffer some malware attack, and the malware is trying to maintain some persistence attack, persistent connection to the outside. And we can, using baseline AI environment awareness engine to check the traffic anomaly, there's after attack, which means we can cover all the aspects, the threat life cycle. Okay, and like let's look at more details. Like there's an instance, and what is instance behind, and there's a time story, and you can see the attacks happen at a different time point. Okay, let's go to the response. I already talked about data injection and analysis and detection, and now let's talk about the response. Okay, because we collect all the data and we analyze with our AI engine. So what is the final outcome? The final outcome is that we want to respond it. We want to solve it, right? So we have two ways to deal with that. So if you are using the Sophos firewall, Palo Alto firewall, and the Cisco firewall, or the semantic endpoint, and the trend macro, and the bit definer, it's okay. Please using our SOAR, security orchestration automation response, to deal with the threats. And the beautiful thing, if you are using Sanfo components like firewall and EDR, we can do the auto containment. I can tell you how we do that. Yeah, so that is some tools that we are supporting. But as I mentioned, actually we can support all the brands. If the customer using existing brands, that brands can provide API documentation. It's very easy for us to connect to our MDR, to XDR. Okay, so why we can realize the automation with Sanfo native components? Because we are correlation a lot of data, and we try to give the root cause analysis, and which means we already extract the threat entity like IP, like URL, like domain name, and like the connection, and there's a different threat entity we already extracted. And it's very easy. So there's a malicious IP from the Australia, malicious IP from US, malicious IP from China. You can just unblock, you can just block it immediately. And which means the extracted threat entity, you can block, quarantine the file, kill the process immediately. And because we already let you know what happens. So if you choose security mode, which means we will do it automatically. And after we resolve the issue, we will send you email automatically. So that is the auto containment. Containment mode. If you choose this one, actually we will the platform will connect to firewall and the EDR to block the issue. Okay, and the second thing is SOAR, security orchestration automation response, which means we provide all the response capability based on the customizable playbooks. And here is a canvas in the left panel. So you see, we give a lot of different, actually, what you drag, what you get, just like HCI. So you can build the playbook based on your scenario. For example, if you're a bank and you find someone withdraw money within 2 a.m., so you just create, for example, someone if they access some IP within 2 a.m., so I need to block the IP. So there you can just fine tune and build a playbook by your scenario. And if you think it's complicated, Sanfo can also help you to build the playbook, but you need to describe your scenario very precisely. Okay, so the right part is about how we deal with that with the SOAR. So there's an instance, and the following threats are detected on host Apache log4j, which means there's a vulnerability exposed to the outside, and the host is under attack because the vulnerability exposure to outside. And we extract a lot of entities like there's IP host and processes. We find there's malicious process. But within the SOAR, within the playbook, we find if there's a malicious process, I need to kill the process immediately. So the playbook will run automatically to kill the process. So that is a third-party integration. Okay, and this part and the fifth part, I will talk about AI. Why Sanfo develop AI? Why security vendor around the world embrace AI and doing agentic layer? Uh, Actually, the answer is very simple. So, there's because AI can leverage efficiency and resolve some issues that the traditional security product cannot do. And Sanfo can build a strong AI. Why? There's some I can tell you something since the 2017 we develop AI for more than 9 years. So what we can do? The first thing is we have algorithms and we fine tune the algorithms. We have a lab and just to capture the cyber attack around the world. And we have GPU expert and CPU expert, and they are trying to connect each other, GPU, CPU, and we can have a computation layer. And we also have a proprietary security data because we have firewall and also the EDR and the NDR, and there's a lot of native components, which means we accumulate a lot of data and we can extract the data power. And the final thing is that we have large language model, and we can also combine with different large language model around the world. And we're using the elements and fine tune our security architecture and using large language model to fine tune the data. And finally, we can provide you the security GPT, operation GPT, and anti-phishing GPT. Operation GPT is very easy to understand because if you have the instance and you admin don't know what happens, it's too complicated to interpret. So our XDR dashboard will tell you, I give you example. There's an instance and the robot will analyze and give you the summary about what happens with natural language. And they just tell you the key alerts analysis and the root cause analysis and what is the affected scope and what asset is already affected and the vulnerability and the weak password and something. And from different dimension, tell you what happens. And they will also give you the menu. They will also give you the suggestion, which means they guide you to using SOAR or using some components to block the IP, quarantine the file, some other things. So that is our security operation GPT that make everything to be understandable and using natural language to let layman to understand. It's AI assisted tool. Okay. The sixth part is about production for cloud and email. So the first thing I want to talk one thing about the phishing email. So nowadays, every people talk about email security. Some people don't provide email security, comprehensive email security solutions, but we provide anti-phishing and using our security GPT. So, the email that you receive every day, there's structures like email body, like links, like QR code, like attachment, right? So every structure will hide some threat entity. And what we can do, we will use AI to do the accurately detect using natural language understanding, attack intent analysis, thorough chain analysis, thought chain analysis, and also there's some semantic analysis. For example, you receive an email, right? So there's a skeleton of the email. So we will analyze whether the email extracted from some template from the attackers, and if there's a QR code, there's a attachment. We will extract to see what is content, what is the malicious content behind the QR code. What is the potential threats just hide under the attachment. So we will try to use our sandbox to see what happens. When we find there's a phishing email, so we have multiple ways to deal with that. The first one is the delete. We will delete the email immediately. The second, we will move to the trash bin because our XDR using API to connect to the email system, and we can move to the trash bin. The email system also have an XDR account. And the third one is we also add prefix in front of the email, which means email header, there will be a prefix labeled ransomware, credit mining, and some attack vectors. And the final thing is the email notification. We will also generate another email to tell customer, oh, this previously you get an email, but the email is not safety enough, and it's a ransomware. Please just ignore it or delete it immediately. Okay, that is multiple way we can do the email security. And also cloud security, I know some of the customers, they are using different cloud and they are maintaining some workload like virtual machine and like also applications. They are using AWS and Google and also Microsoft Azure. It's okay. So Sunful, you can using your cloud, the public cloud API to connect to our XDR. So we can realize three things. The first one is we will tell you, we will form a topology to let you know how many cloud assets you have. And the second thing, we will check configuration. This module is called CSPM, Cloud Posture Protection Management, which means we will check is there some cloud assets, cloud components that are under misconfiguration, because a lot of cloud risk is due to misconfiguration. So they generate a lot of chain the attacks. Okay. And third one is that we will also label some risk because some risk your password is not very strong and there's some vulnerability happens. So there are three things that we can do and to showcase on our dashboard. Okay. And the seventh part is that the operation process. So, we can provide a report. We have different views like the asset perspective and the risk perspective and also the instance perspective. You can just filter according to what you like and generate a report. We also have a built-in template. There's also, the bar chart and the different chart that you can use to make you report more understandable. And there's a data statistics. Okay, and reporting, you can just configure daily, weekly, monthly, and you can just send it to the recipient. There's an admin email address. Okay, and some customer said, I don't have a ticketing system, but security, I want to, can I escalate and generate a ticket to other department? The answer is yes. If you don't have a ticketing system and you want to build a T1, T2, T3 technical team, we can also have a ticketing system, built-in ticketing system that built for the large organizations, strengthen the case management. Okay. And the fourth part is about Sunful Athena XDR. So I just summarize what we can do. And the first one is we can give you root cause analysis and uncovers a region attacks within a few clicks. So if you suffer attacks, there's attackers and they generate malicious code to different thing and generate different processes. Okay, so what we can do is that you just click one of the threat entity. We will give you a richful contexts to let you know what happens, like threat alerts, connection, and process operations, which means every layer of the threats, actually, you will see the richful context and leaves the threats nowhere to hide. That is a root cause analysis. And your security analyst to using this page to do the investigation. Okay, and previously I mentioned we have multi-layer to detect from millions of logs to 1,000 alerts to single number of instances. And we can give commitment to customer 5 minutes to detect the threats and 5 seconds to respond to threats. That is something we can do. And the final summarization is the unparalleled operation efficiency. Using XDR, we can reduce the noise, and we can also do the automated threat hunting and give you root cause analysis. And if you don't want to manage the XDR, we can also provide you MDR monitoring for all the incidents 24/7 and simplify the whole operations and give you workflow with natural language using our generative AI and security GPT. Okay, So final thing I want to highlight is that remember, Sunfall XDR actually can be a security operation platform and with the openness to all the third parties, from the data injection to the analysis to the response. So everything can be within our ecosystem. So that is a beautiful thing from our XDR. And another thing, don't forget, we also provide our components. We have the firewall components, EDR components, and the NDR components. So from native components and also open to the third party, so we can compromise. We can just build the whole comprehensive SOC solution. Okay. So feature-wise, it's very beautiful. Everything can be combined in one platform. Okay, and some customer may concern about what is your unique advantage compared with the Palo Alto, Trend Micro, CrowdStrike. So the biggest advantage is that we can provide you the built-in SOAR without additional charge, and also threat intelligence, unport network correlation, and everything we are listed here and can be realized in one platform. Okay, and the final moment, I share some stories. There is a customer, and what is their challenge? Because they operate the different products independently, which means that they need to deal with the cybersecurity silo every day, and no centralized secure operation platform, no workflow, and no visibility, and a small IT. So how Sunfall deal with the solution for customer? So first thing, we build an XDR platform, acts as a unified platform, consolidating telemetry from different components. The second thing, using AI to do the alert correlation and the many alerts into one single instance. And we also provide SOAR, the built-in SOAR module to do the automation response. And the final thing, their IT team is very small. So we also provide MDR and provide an expert pool and also customer success manager to negotiate with the customer and provide 24/7 monitoring. Okay. So final page, let me summarize it. Sorry to occupy a lot of time. Okay, so we can manage security threats from a single platform, enhance the business efficiency and enhance your compliance. And the second thing is to keep your security team focused on critical instance and tasks. If your people is very limited, please focus on the daily operation and leave some hard things and ransomware and other things to Sunfall. Sunfall provide you XDR and also the MDR to help you stay within budget. Everything is cost effective. And third one is we also embrace the AI and security GPT to quickly understand what happens and let you know even the most complex threats. We can maximize the value to let you people without knowledge to understand what happens. Okay, so that is the thing that we want to say today. We want to share with you. Is there some questions? Let's open discussion. Okay, without questions, so thank you for joining today's webinar. I think we can finish. Lucas, do you want something to ask? No one asked a question, so we can. Okay, Rosemarios asked one question. Let me see it. Does the webinar provide e-certification or participation? I cannot answer the question. So e-certification. Hello, Lucas?
I think once you participate our training, there's no certificate for e-webinar. There are certain certificate if you take part in our face-to-face training, I believe. But for webinar, I'm so sorry, we don't have certificate for this. Rosemary.
Yeah, Mr. Rosemaria, actually there is a periodic training online, and we just make our partner to know more and the customer know more. But we have a pre-sales and sales certification. It's a more formal. Please come to Sunfall office in Dubai, Production City. So we have weekly training, and if you get all the product training, you will get a certification. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining the Sunfall webinar. So I think today's session is finished. Thank you for joining.